Good afternoon, everybody. It's Graham again from Unearthed, and a little bit of a different YouTube film today on a very wet, grim and damp Sunday afternoon. I thought I would give you a bit of a look at some of the gold medieval and later coins that you can find with your metal detector if you are lucky enough. Now then, we've got, which will be of interest to a lot of people, this short film, a selection of different coins, starting with this huge gold coin, which is a noble. Now, I have to say, I've never found a gold noble before. I've been lucky enough to find lots of gold coins, but never found a gold noble. This was found by a friend of mine locally, and I've acquired it from him. And the reason is because it's a piece of local history, and the chances of me finding one as the clock ticks by, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to find a gold noble. I've been detecting 40 years, as a lot of people know, and I've never even seen one come up. So this is the first one I've ever held. Gold half nobles and quarter nobles, I've seen them come up quite often, but never a gold noble. And this is a coin of Henry IV, so it's quite a rare and desirable coin within itself. Now, just to give you some idea of how big this coin is, we'll put it next to a modern coin, which is a modern £2. It's actually bigger, look, than our modern £2 coins that we currently use. So that gives you some idea of the size of these wonderful medieval pieces of history. So a whopping coin, you ain't going to miss that, I don't think. If you went over it with your detector, but they are extremely rare. And they are rare because probably the peasants and others, serfs and the like, probably, let me get that off the screen, probably would never have had the opportunity to hold one and have one in their change or in their pocket. Probably the merchants, noblemen, knights, castle owners, probably the people that would have had these. So a little bit of history around the noble. That was worth a whopping 6 shillings and 8 pence. So you're talking about equivalent to about 80 pennies, which would, let me do me maths, not far off 3 months' wages. So a peasant would have got paid a penny a day for working. If he was a high-skilled peasant, probably more. But we're talking about a penny a day pay for some people. So if they had one of these, equivalent-wise, it would have been nearly 3 months, not far off 3 months in wages. So the buying power of these particular coins in the day was significant. So going back into the medieval period, you could probably buy a gallon of the best wine for about 4 pence. So 4 pence would have bought you the best wine available, a gallon of it even, and you had 80 pennies available to you with a gold noble in your pocket. So you could have had a heck of a lot of wine. Ale, if you wanted to go out on the ale one night, a gallon of ale would have cost, or the best ale would have been 1.5 pence. Medium quality ale, you were talking about a penny, and the really poor grade ale, you're talking 3 farthings, 3/4 of a pence. So it gives you some idea. You could have also bought in them times, in the medieval period, 2 chickens for a penny. It's that sort of thing we're looking at. So let's just turn this coin over so you wonderful people can see it. As you can see, it's got a slight crease in the coin, and it's quite a bit of a weak spot on the front of it. I don't know if that's down to circulation. Well, I don't think it is. I think it's been weakly struck. You can see the king on his boat, his medieval boat. That's his shield. I'll just point this out to you for those who can't see it properly. That's his shield, the king's shield. There's the king's head. And this is his wonderful medieval boat, galleon. I've got gallon on my brain, haven't I? So there he is. So as you can see, it's a decent example of a noble, but it has got its wear marks on it. So you can see the difference between the gold noble, and I was lucky enough to find this half noble a number of years ago. Look at the size difference. So the half noble, you were talking probably half the equivalent to that. So if that was 80 pennies, that would have been worth 40 pennies, medieval silver pennies. If we turn that over, we can actually get a better look at the king and his shield. Now on this one, it's much better detail than the noble actually. You can see the king's shield with the 3 lions on. 3 lions. I don't know if I can. No, I'm not gonna. He's not liking it. The phone's not liking going too close. There's the king's head with his crown. There's the king with his sword on his boat. Extremely well executed coin. Apart from some rogue in the past has just took a slither of gold off that edge, as you can see. Minted in London, way back in the 14th century. What a time to be alive, I guess. If I had one of these in my pocket, I'd have been a happy man. And then, of course, much later in times, centuries later, they still continue to produce hammered gold coins. And if we go right up to this end, I'm going to gently slide this over because it's that small. My massive hand in the way. Get out of the way. You can see, I found this in 2016, another gold hammered, which is, I do apologise for the slight break, a James I half crown. So they've come down considerably in size. Value-wise, you could still have purchased quite a lot of things with this coin if you had it in your pocket. The buying power would have been quite big. But look at the size difference. And if you put that next to the gold noble, look how they've come down in size. Obviously, gold is much rarer in later centuries, maybe not as, widely available. But look at the difference in size. Huge difference in size. So, we'll move that to that side. Now, just a little bit more information before we disappear. And I think you will find this of interest. In the medieval period, if I wanted to buy... if I wanted to buy a pair of boots, for example, a decent pair of strong boots for hunting or outdoor work, the gentry boots, which would have been higher quality than the peasant, the ones that the peasants wore, you were costing probably around about 6 pence. So 6 medieval pennies for a decent pair of boots. If I wanted to buy a purse to carry these wonderful coins around with me, it would have cost me 1.5 pence. 1.5 pennies for a decent purse. Now, if I really was doing well and I had lots and lots of money and I had lots of wealth and I wanted to buy a gold ring with a ruby in it, it would have cost me 26 shillings and 8 pence. So the value is astronomical for a medieval gold ring going back into about 1380s. And just on that theme, 6 silver spoons in the medieval period in the 14th century would have cost you about 14 shillings. So when we think about this gold noble being worth 6 shillings and 8 pence, we're still quite a way away of being able to afford 6 medieval silver spoons. There you go. So that means probably the rarity of a silver spoon in medieval times would have been really, really scarce. Probably why we don't find too many. I certainly never found a silver medieval spoon. I found Georgian and Victorian ones, but I've never found a medieval one. So there you go. That gives you some idea of the buying power of these coins. If this is a success, this film, and if I can stitch it together with the other part, because I actually knocked it off by mistake, I will stitch it together and do more. So give me some feedback if you enjoyed it. I hope that helps. Lockdown's only a few days away now. You can get out detecting, hopefully, folks, and maybe one or two of you will find some coins like this. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.